Hello, it's Therese McAuliffe here from Lighting the Way, and I'm here today to connect with the angels and to offer a beautiful angel card reading for the month of May. And you've probably noticed that I have Our Lady, Mother Mary, our Queen of Angels here with me. And this is a very beautiful statue, a lovely reminder for me of the time when I was in Medjugorje and I received a beautiful healing from Mother Mary, whereby a light came across the valley and went in through my left eye, and I had somebody with me that said to me, "What is that?" And I said to her, "Did you see it too?" And she said, "Look at your arm." And it had come out here, just on the crook of my elbow, on my right arm. So it went into my left eye, but it came out as a white fluorescent circle. And when I put my hand on it, it said, "Now go out and heal." So I heard that voice that said that to me. And at the time I was contemplating whether I would, leave paid employment and become self-employed as a therapist and a healer. And it gave me the courage. It really gave me the courage, because I really feel that Our Lady looks after me. I feel she's the great mother energy, that holding, that nurturing, that compassion. And I feel that love of the mother, where I feel safe and held. And I just brought her to the table. I know it's just a statue and I know it's just a symbol, but for me it's about bringing the energy in. So I want the energy of the mother to be in this reading for all of us for the month of May. And of course, as per normal, before I ever do any readings, I, become quiet within myself, quieten down the mind and ask for some guidance and to help me to deliver the messages in the best way that I can possibly deliver them. And we all have our own interpretations, and that's how it's meant to be, because we're all individual human beings, but collectively we're all one. So we're part of the whole divine plan and the whole divine energy. And if we think about it, the energy is collective, and we are beginning to feel the energies of everybody, so we can help everybody by rising our vibration, by rising our frequency, and by deliberately working to help humanity at this challenging time, and it really is a time where we have the opportunity to rebirth, to decide what's really important in life, to get back to our roots, to get back to the basics of good values around family and earth and people and love and caring and loving ourselves. And I just got the impression that the month of May will feel somewhat brighter and we will have a lot more clarity, but we're still in essence riding the waves. We're moving into a new reality, a new way of being, which is a far more conscious, more aware, more loving, more joyful way of being. And the sooner we can release the brakes and stop holding on to the old reality that we've been so conditioned to believe is life, there's just so much more to it. So the sooner we do actually surrender and release, the sooner we will start experiencing greater joy and greater health and greater peace, and back to a planet where we care about things, we care about the planet, and we care about human beings, we care about the animals, and of course where we care initially about ourselves, and we integrate the strength of the universe and that power and that innate knowing and understanding that we are part of this divine intelligence. We're part of something that's completely beyond our comprehension. We call it oneness, so for us to be able to grasp even a tiny bit of that and take the hope from it, plant that seed today and allow it to grow, water it, give it sunlight, give it time, give it care, and it will grow. It really will grow. So it is a time of acceleration. We are turning the corner, and there's a little bit of a bump to go yet, but it's lighter, and there are more and more people beginning to slow down, and we're given the opportunity right now to, self-reflect and to ask those deep questions, and not to be afraid to ask them of ourselves. What am I here for? How can I be of service? What am I not hearing? And give yourself some meditation time, even short spaces of meditation. Even put on soft music, go out into nature, sit by the bank of a river. If there's a river near you, I know we're curtailed, but we won't be curtailed forever. You could play some music that has, for me, the ocean, or the sound of a waterfall or running water, anything that has flow in it, works for me. And also the vastness, but I can visualize it. There are some lovely visualizations available on the internet if you're not able to visualize by yourself. Or you could literally just have a little diffuser or something, and you have it right by you, and the little trickle of the water. There are loads of things. We can be creative. You can turn a tap on that is just trickling into a basin or something. 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, and just allow yourself to get still and to receive the divine guidance that's bursting to come through and connect with you. So take a few cards now as well and see what comes through in the cards for us. So I'll initially take the 3. No, they're telling me we'll take 5. Okay. So as I close my eyes, I'm seeing almost like a square, and it's saying that we're still boxing things in, and we need to make a circle of that square. Okay. So we need to remember that life is infinite, and we go around, and we need to realize that it's not finite. It's not just, sorry, now I just need to concentrate on the energy here. It's not just, we're born, we survive, and we die. We have an infinite life. We have an infinite stream of energy flowing through us, infinite divinity. Okay, so the heart is really important. I'm being shown the color green. So we're back into working with the heart, really working to heal the heart and let go of all the wounding, all the feelings where you weren't loved, or where you couldn't love, or where you felt you didn't receive love, or where there was a wound of the heart, something really, really that hurt you, that made you sad, lost, grieving, and loneliness. All of that, it's all totally up for healing. I can just see it, feel it, know it. So the angels are basically saying the month of May we will be able to heal our hearts, because we're actually moving into a very bright phase. May and June we're still working through, and July is much, much better, but May is quite bright. So let's stick with working with the light now. So the first one is the soulmate, second one is retreat. I come back to all of these. Third one is harmony, dreams, and emerging. Okay, so that's for the end of May. So we're just literally starting at the beginning and working our way through. So that's soulmate relationship, so that's about the energy of our infinite part of us merging with the finite part of us. So it's like when our mind and our spirit can join together in unison, and where there is a comprehension of how magnificent we actually are. That's happening now, right now, this week. So we're at the very beginning of the month. So this merging of the human mind and the divine mind is starting to happen. And we really need to get quiet. We really need to slow down and to chill out. We've been given the opportunity to stay home. It doesn't matter how it's happening. Lockdown could mean different things to different people. but the angels are urging us to see it as an opportunity. You know, there's a correction, there's a really big correction going on in the universe, and for us to be able to see that correction as being necessary. You know, a lot of us have been talking about, you know, the necessity for people, you know, to stop dumping their rubbish into the streams and rivers, and which lands into the ocean, you know, to stop cutting down the forests and the rainforests, to stop being cruel to one another, to stop judging, you know, the greed, all of this that's going on with humanity. That's just humanity after going completely out of whack, completely out of balance. So, you know, I've been doing chakra videos, and I did the 7th one today. You know, I did the crown chakra one today, and they're on my Facebook page, my no, it's not it's Facebook, it's my Lighting the Way, it's Therese Auliffe Lighting the Way page. And, you know, for 7 consecutive weeks, I've worked on a chakra and given information for people to build themselves up. So if you'd like to go and look at those, if you feel you would like to understand how to balance your energy, there's a lot of information in there, and we all need to balance our energy all of the time, but it gets easier and easier and easier. But if we don't know why we're feeling out of whack and why we're feeling out of balance, we need to get an understanding of it before we can do something about bringing it back into alignment. And the planet, you know, as a whole, has gone out of alignment. We've forgotten that we're part of the ecosystem, you know, and that, you know, we need the bees and we need the trees. They don't particularly need us. So we really need to think about that we're actually dependent on them. Whereas if the human race was wiped out in the morning, they'd carry on fine without us. But if they were all wiped out, we wouldn't carry on without them. So that allows us to really put things into perspective a little bit, and to build that soulmate relationship with our planet and with our spirit, and to really understand that together we are one. And that's really important. Our second card for the month of May, the angels are begging us to retreat, and we're being given the golden opportunity to do so. So be okay. No, I'm also staying at home. I'm also somebody that hasn't seen my children or my grandchildren since the 10th of March. So it's not easy on the human side of it for us. But if we really think about looking at the bigger picture, it's very easy. And we're being given this on a plate, you know. Have a retreat. Take time out. There's quite a lot of blue in these first 2 cards. And blue, blue, blue. Blue's communication. It's a throat center, okay? So we're clearing, we're bringing the truth up, and we're bringing the truth out. And being given the time to slow down and to stop thinking and to quieten the mind and to allow the inspired thoughts to just pop in. So they come in, you know, as energy, but the energy, I suppose, manifests in the form of thought or feelings or knowings or understandings to us. So if we're running around the place, you know, constantly in our head and constantly thinking, it'll bypass our understanding, you know. And it's really important that we get, you know, exercise, sleep. It's really important to have sleep, you know, to close down everything so that our crown chakra can actually start working and the melatonin starts releasing and pituitary gland gets cleansed and information can come through to us. And while I'm talking about that, I would just like to say, and this is all part of the reading, that last night, obviously, when I was going to bed, it was actually my birthday yesterday, so always when it's around the time of my birthday, I always feel really grateful for another year. And I also feel that push to do something more, you know. Don't let it pass by. You don't need to come back to repeat some of these patterns again, you know. Sort it out. But during the night, I had a dream. I woke up actually having a really strong dream, and there were all these lights, orange and yellow. They were all orange and yellow, and they were being literally almost like shot out of a gun, but it wasn't like a gun, but they were like shooting stars, but they were orange and yellow, and they were They were entering everybody on the planet, including myself, okay? So just think about that. So it's the sacral chakra and it's the solar plexus chakra. So they're boosting our creativity, our sexuality, how we feel about ourselves as a person, our confidence, our will, our self-esteem, our emotions. That was all being boosted. And it's very vivid for me when I dream. The dreams are always related to actually what's going on energetically in the world. So into the third week of May, so right into the middle of May, and things are going to feel really harmonious. Okay, and that's actually sacral chakra area. Okay, and the throat. So we're going to be expressing ourselves. So we're going to really understand things are actually starting to settle. And by mid-May, we'll all start to feel more peaceful, more attuned to ourselves, more able to speak our truth. And I suppose I as well, and like we have to comprehend it some way. Talk, a bit about boundaries and, crossing the boundary and, making sure you put up your boundaries. But you don't need to actually put up any fences or any boundaries when you're actually strong in your authentic self, because your energy will actually do the work with you. So you don't have to actually think about it or say anything about it. You're just very present and you're very strong in yourself, and people will feel that. So it's coming into really monitoring the dreams. Okay, so the second half of May, it's going to be really, really important that when you go to bed at night, that you kind of set up yourself for sleep rather than watching movies or listening to audiobooks or checking your Facebook or whatever, Instagram, and there are just so many games and things that I see the younger generation playing with, and they've grown up with that. But it's really important for everybody, including especially the younger generation, to understand that they need to slow down before going to bed. They need to have the darkness, night has to come, so we have to take the light away from the crown chakra and just allow the night to come, so that all of the chemicals are released into the body and that we do restore our drooping spirit, really, and our dreams will be clearer and clearer and clearer. And if we start to create a dream journal, it could only be 3 or 4 words that we write down in the morning. It'll become very clear within a period of a couple of weeks what's really going on, because our dreams are talking to us about what's hidden underneath the water, maybe what we just have forgotten, and by the end of May, we will begin to emerge as somebody that's really rebirthed, somebody that's brand new. So we will have a different comprehension. So it's really a huge amount. I feel my throat now coming up. So we're clearing. Excuse me. It's a huge month of spiritual growth for us. It's not going to feel as dense as the last 6-7 weeks have felt for us all. And we're all understanding this like it's the most phenomenal time, in our lifetime anyhow. Probably in the history of mankind, where the whole world has basically shut down together. So it's come to the point where we begin to know that we're not actually the people that are pressing the buttons. We're not actually in control. Control is a really difficult word, isn't it? Because everything is meant to be smooth and fluid and flowing, and when we actually try to hold on to something and try to control something, we constrict it, and then there's stagnation, and stagnation causes disease, so it's really important that we allow things to flow. And at the moment there is a really, really big opportunity for us to surrender, to actually once and for all surrender and realize that we're infinite, eternal, loving beings, capable of great things. We are powerful beyond comprehension. We're part of it all. What grows my hair? My mind doesn't know, but my spirit does. What grows the grass, and don't talk to me about fertilizer. I'm talking about, what actually grows it. You know, in the forest you see the roots of the trees and they can be moving under the ground for I don't know how far, but a long, long distance. Have you ever noticed how the trees often come together in the forest? Like, you start to notice all of these things. What is all that? It's divine intelligence. We're part of that divine intelligence. It's time for us to wake up, you know, wake up and start behaving like divine beings, because we really are. And Archangel Michael always has a message for us, always. So I'm going to ask him for the month of May for a bit of guidance for us, please. I'm seeing the green again, so we're really into healing the heart. Okay. Now, a very distinctive card, actually. Admit the truth to yourself and act accordingly. Oh, Michael, I could trust you, couldn't I? I appreciate your support in helping me face my feelings with grace and acceptance, so that I can be lovingly honest with myself and others. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for giving me the courage and the strength. And there it's coming, you know, the courage is the solar plexus, and this is what I felt was happening during the night. And, you know, last week I went for a walk with my partner, and it was actually the 5K for charity in Ireland, where a lot of people are doing 5K for different charities. And I felt like I was getting injections, and like I'm very used to walking 5K, 10K, so it's not that it was strenuous for me, but the whole time I felt like there was like little shots of energy moving into my arms and my face and the back of my head, my shoulders, and I asked him if he was feeling it, and he wasn't feeling it, and he doesn't take any notice of me anymore, because, you know, I do ask like questions like this, but you know, the next day I woke up and I was so clear about a lot of things, and I know myself that it was an infusion of light that I was receiving, and I was aware enough to receive it. Okay, so this card is an important card. Don't ask me what it is, because my mind doesn't know, but I was told to draw them. Okay, so here we are. So it's an intention. So when I see this card intention, I'm going to ask it, because it could mean a few things. Okay, so it's very much third eye to crown chakra colors, and again there's a lot of blue, so there's a lot of communication. So it's a very high vibrational card, and it's about setting a very clear intention for ourselves. And that intention can be, you know, a very personal intention for something in your own life, in your personal life, in your private life, in your work life, and you can set many intentions, but it's very important that an intention is like way stronger than a wish. So you intend for it to happen. So you're sending the energy of knowing that it has already happened, and you just need to align to it. So everything is available to us, and we just go off course, basically. You know, we steer in the wrong direction a bit, but there's like a gravitational pull back into bringing us back into being pure, you know, honoring and nurturing our divine spirit, our divine self, that part of us, that spark that's inside of us, that all-knowing infinite part. And we're being asked that if we, and I'm just seeing, you know, I'm actually seeing crown chakra completely written all over this. We are being asked to raise our vibration, and we are being asked to do it by setting a very crystal clear intention. And that intention is individual. And for all of us, we're on a different part of our journey, and we move up and move down, over and across, and we do a lot of different things. So this is very personal, and it's very much for you to decide what's your next step in your spiritual growth. That's the question I'd be asking myself. And I'd set an intention around that. And I would intend for that to happen by the end of May. So, you know, I really want you to consider this. So if you're doing a meditation, just ask the question, you know, what's my next step? You'll get your answer. And then set an intention around that. So it's like a spiritual goal, but you understand when you're setting it that you have to do a little bit of work, and it'll come back to you. So you're sending it out and it'll come back multiplied. And that's basically what the intention is. I have a sort of way that I do the cards, and I always ask what archangel can actually help all of us, okay, to do what we've been asked to do here, okay? And that's from my archangel deck. And that is this deck that's in my hand, and I am intentionally asking that question now. Okay, so this reading is a little bit longer than most readings, and it's a really important month. So it's Metatron. Woohoo! We've gone right to source. Okay, so focus on your highest priorities. I will help you to get organized and motivated. Okay? So I do quite a lot of work with Metatron myself, and I'm a Metatronic practitioner. Metatron was the first angel that I ever saw. You know, when I was beginning and I was asking loads of questions and thought I was going absolutely crazy, and Metatron appeared to me, and I have a very, very special bond. So Metatron, you know, is he's source energy, really, you know, so he's an angel that's greater than an angel. He bridges the gap really between humanity and divinity, so he's here to help us bring it all together. He's here to help us with our intention, to bring in the harmony, and to do what we've been asked to do for the whole month. Now, there's one thing that I need to do, and that is to get a card for our children, and then I'll take a Mother Mary card to close the reading, because of the fact that it's the month of May, and I do love the month of May. And I'm going to spend most of this month, I have deliberately decided that I will be giving time to myself, and I will be doing very little on social media, and I will be meditating lots and getting quiet and being relaxed and doing as little as possible whenever I possibly can, with the intention of connecting with the divine source to receive information so that I can move forward on a higher level, on a higher vibration of energy. That's really my intention for the month, and I've spoken about it already a few months ago, and there are people that I connect with, you know, on different spiritual groups and things, and I have already told them that I won't be there for the month of May. I'll be with God and the angels. There's a hailstone shower in the month of May outside the windows. I'm talking to you. It's like we're getting cleansed. Now, this is a card for our children. Okay, so whether we have children or grandchildren or our inner child or a child next door, it doesn't matter. I'm asking for a card for the children. Okay, so this one is just jumping out of the pack. And it says, Angelic Child, when you behave like an angel, you grow invisible wings. Say to yourself, I am like an angel. Now, wouldn't that be beautiful for us all? Angelic Child. So that's a really easy way, isn't it, to be compassionate and loving and not judgmental and kind, is to see ourselves as an angelic child. I really do like that. So I have 3 grandchildren, so I am going to pass on that card to my son, who has a little girl who's 1, and my daughter, who has an 8-year-old boy and a 2-year-old girl, and just pass it. All I can do is pass the information. And now I'm asking Our Lady Queen of Angels for one card for the month of May for us. I'm really enjoying this reading. I hope you are as well. I feel very enlivened inside, so there's a really cleansing, healing, light energy coming through. So I really want to pass that to you all as you listen and watch this. Okay, so it's, I pray for Jesus' help and guidance with this situation. So it's very strong energy. So we're going right to the source, really, you know, and ask Jesus to help you at this time. And I do know that there are a lot of people that are finding it extremely challenging and difficult, and they're anxious and they're afraid, and they're staying awake, and they're just eating whatever comes their way because they're so stressed. But I also know that that's all changing, and I also know that it's that agony and anguish and pain that is helping people to actually surrender and to release and to let it go and to really tune into the higher vibration. So don't forget, we have a lot of help, a lot of higher help. So it's time for us to surrender the ego mind and really connect with the divine mind, and don't be afraid to ask for help. And when you ask, allow yourself to receive. So work on your energy, work on your self-love, work on compassion, work on your soulmate relationship with yourself, okay, with your divine self. Take the time out retreat. I'm just glancing at the cards because this is what's come up. The middle of May will feel quite harmonious, okay? Things are starting to settle. Look at your dreams. Think about what's coming to you in your dream state when you close off the mind that never stops. We're emerging, so towards the end of May, the vibration is going to be much, much higher. Admit the truth to yourself and act accordingly is Michael's message. Metatron says, prioritize, and he'll be there to help us to get organized and motivated. That's really nice, because when there's so much going on, it's hard to get organized and motivated. It's very important to set a really clear intention, and don't be afraid to ask for help. Go straight to Jesus. And to remind our children, when you behave like an angel, you grow invisible wings. So say, I am like an angel. And there are a lot of children at home and they're doing really, really well. And, they're out of their routine, they can't see their friends, and it's all over the world. And, when they're frustrated, it might be nice for them to say, I am like an angel. And it'll bring them back into their center, back into their core, back into their joy and their love. So for us, it's really important that we try to bring the joy up so that we can feel it, so watch those old silly movies if you're feeling really lethargic and tired. Don't watch the news every day, because it will bring your energy down. Yes, watch it when you need to, follow the guidelines for staying safe, but have fun. You can have fun. It was my birthday yesterday and I had the best fun, and obviously we had to do video calls and all of that with the children, but we did a joint one last night that lasted a few hours, and I had a birthday cake and we pretended to blow out the candles together, and it was fun. So we can actually just be creative and do whatever we want. So for the month of May, I say God bless you, and follow your inner ding, because you do know what's inside of you. And if you feel like subscribing, please do, because you will get all updates. And I do plan to do a lovely meditation this month, and it's for the chakras. I finished, as I said, a chakra series on Facebook, but I'm going to put my meditation into YouTube because I just want to make sure that everybody can access it. And be kind to yourself. God bless you. Namaste. From Therese.